Welcome to Tech Brothers with Amer. Today we are going to learn how to send load summary email by using a send mail task in SSIS package. So what we are going to learn how to use the parameters in SSIS package. Then how to perform insert, update in data flow task. Then we will learn how to save those insert count and update count in variables. So we can use those variables in expressions in send mail task to build our summary email. So let's go and create a demo or perform a demo right now. Let me show you the file I'm using here. I have a very simple file. I could have make it complicated, but I don't want to go through that. I have ID, name, and ID 3, 4, 5, and I have the names here. On the other side, I have created a SQL Server Table in the sales database, and it's called DBO customer. This table has 2 records already. So what we want to do, we want to insert any new record depending upon ID. If the ID is not existing in the table, we will insert that record, and if the ID does exist, we will update the name. So that's how we are going to do insert and update. Now open your bids or SSDT, whatever you have. In my case, I'm using SSIS 2012, and I can use the SSDT, or if you're using SSIS 2014, you will be still using SSDT and in later versions, but old versions such as 2008 and 2005, you will be using bids. New SSIS package. So first of all, I always recommend creating variables or parameters and use them in the configuration. Why? Because in each environment you can change them. So you don't have to change the package, but you can change the value of these parameters or the variables by using the configuration, and that's really great. You can make your package dynamic. Here I want to have a package parameter called call email2, and this is going to be string. And I want to send email to the TechBrothersIT@gmail.com, and also I want to use another email, so I will call that email from, and here I want to put that email amersequelage@gmail.com. So these are the 2 parameters we have created. Next, let me go ahead and rename this package. We will be using this name in our load summary. So I'm going to call this one pkg_load customer. So that's the name of our SSIS package. Next, we will be reading data from the file. So we have to use the data flow task here. So inside the data flow task, we will be using the flat file source. So let me take flat file source from here. Open the flat file source, hit new, and create a connection manager for your flat file. Browse to the file, and here's your file. In this video or the demo, if you see, I'm just making connection straightforward to the file, but I have already created so many videos where you can loop through those files, and you can have more than one file sitting in the folder, and you can loop through and use the for each loop container and then load those files. So you can take the look on those packages. This is pretty much the same. The concept I want to give here how to save the insert count and the update count and using the send mail task. So it doesn't matter you are using one file or multiple file, the concept is going to be the same. Now we go to columns, the names are coming correct. Go to advanced. Here I'm going to change this one to the DTI4, that's integer, and name is worker 50, that's fine. Preview the data, hit OK. Now retain null values from source, null values in the data flow. That means if you are getting some blank values, you want to convert them to the null. Okay, fine with me. Hit OK. Next, we want to compare the records. So we will be using a lookup. Before we insert the record, we want to compare that, right? We want to make sure this is a new record or the existing record. In the lookup, I want to go ahead and go to connection, and here I will be using this connection manager sales. So you can create a new one if you want. I have already existing one. I'm going to go ahead and write my query. I will say select ID from DBO customer. and then I can preview the data. So it is returning my ID. On ID I will be doing the lookup, and if ID does match, it means that the record does exist already and I have to update the name. If it will not exist, so it means there is no match record. So what I will do, I will just insert that record. Hit OK. Now we go back to general, and here fail component. I don't want to fail the component, but I want to redirect rows to the no match in case when there is no match with the ID. So I'll come back with the connection. Now I go to columns. The ID coming from the source, I'm mapping with the available columns in the lookup. Now I don't need to select any column from the lookup columns, and I only want to make sure this record does exist or not. So I'm not selecting any values or any column from the lookup columns. So we are all good. We don't need to go to advanced or anywhere. Hit OK. Now we will have multiple outputs coming from the lookup. The one of them is called matching and one will be calling no matching, right? So we will be using destination here, and I know that any non-matching record should be going to the destination because that's the new record, right? And here we will select lookup no match output. Okay, this is our new record, so we want to insert that. Let's go back here and make a connection. So we have the connection already for the database. Here we will be selecting the table, so it is going to the customer, and then do the mapping. So ID is mapped to the ID, name is mapped to the name. If you notice here, we are not saving any record count anywhere. We need to save that information right here before even put into the SQL Server Table. So we need to create a variables. We are going to create two variables. One will be called InsertCount. It's going to be integer, fine, and then other will be UpdateCount. Row transformation is the transformation that can be used here to save that information into the variable. So I'm going to go back into the common and then get the row count transformation. So let me find out row count transformation right here. Disconnect this part and then connect to the row count transformation, and here we'll say no match output. That's what we are using, and then we'll be finally putting the records into the SQL Server Table. So any records which are not matching, they will come first to the row count. Row count is not going to do anything. It will just save the count into the variable. So double click on that one and then select the insert count variable. While the records will flow from here, they will be saved. The total number of those records will be saved into the insert count variable, and finally they will be put into the SQL Server Table. One more thing we would like to do, as there would be scenarios where records are matching. So in those cases, what we want to do, we want to update that record. So we can use OLEDB command transformation here to update those records. I could have made it more complicated to find, okay, there are more columns I want to match, and if all of the columns are matching or not matching, then do that. But here the purpose is a little different. So let me find out OLEDB command transformation. So this is what we are going to use. If ID is matching, I'm going to go ahead and just update that record, no matter what name is matching exactly with that or not. So I don't care about that. But here, before we go ahead and update that, we need to put the count here. So that way we would know that, okay, these many record came to OLEDB command transformation for the update. So come here, then we select this part and add to the or connect to the OLEDB command transformation. There is a complete package I have on the UpSERT operation. You can go ahead and watch that video, and that will tell you exactly, like, okay, after even doing this part, I'm again matching records with by using a lookup and finding out which record really did change or not change. So you can go ahead and watch that video. Update count, fine. So now here we have saved the insert count. I'm going to rename this one and this will be same in a update count. And here we will be writing we need to create a connection, so it is our sales database connection, and then here we will be writing our update statement. Now we will say update, hold on one second, dbo dot customer, and set name is equal to question mark, where ID is equal to question mark. So depending upon ID, we want to update the name. Once we put the question marks, these will be replaced with the input columns. Hit OK. Now go to the column mapping, and here we say, see the parameter 1 and 2. The very first one is the name. That's what it is in the sequence. When we write the query, the very first column we write with the question mark. That's what we see with the parameter 0. And the next one, sorry, see, I made a mistake right here. So the very first one is the name, so I have to take the name and map to parameter 0, and ID is the second one, so I have to take the ID and map to the parameter underscore 1. Now we are all good. Our package is going to read the records and then insert the newly record and update the records if IDs are already existing. Fine. The last part we are missing here, we need to send an email. So if you will have a for each loop container, you could have used send mail task here and for each loop container on top of those, both of them. And if it is only single data flow, fine, just use the send mail task. Right now I'm saving only two values, insert count and update count. There could be scenario, maybe you are using a lot of tables. So go ahead and create more variables and just save the information to the variables, and rest of the part will be the same. So now we will bring the send mail task, and here in the send mail task we are going to build our summary. Excuse me. Go to mail. Next part is we will be using SMTP server. In our case, the name is the TBS client, TechBrothers client. Hit OK. We don't want to use any static values here. We want to build those fields. So go to expressions, and in the expressions, go to properties, and here we'll say email. We have from line. So let me press F. And keep pressing F, it will take you to the from line, or you can just scroll, your choice. And now I can go ahead and use the parameter here. So email from. If I'm using the variable, I can use the variable here, but in my case I'm using the parameter. So now we have two line. So go to two line and use the parameter, package parameter as well. Good. The next part, we want to build a nice subject. So for our email, I'm going to select the subject property and then build our subject. So I will say package, whatever the package name, pkg load customer completed successfully, or check the load summary for package loads customer. So let's make that one. Check the summary for, and then put double quotes and then plus the sign, and then here we will go to the system variables and use the package name. So let me take the package name. So this is how it will be. Check the summary for pkg load customer, and then we can add at the end if we want to add a package. So plus sign, double quotes, and say package or SSIS package, whatever. So what works best for you, build your subject very nice. Also you can have environments such as prod and UAT and all that can be coming from the parameter as well. So by doing it, you would know that from which environment this package is executing. So hit OK. The last part is we need to build the body. So it is called message source. So go to message source, and here, and then now we need to use those variables. insert and update, and I will be writing something like this: hi team, and then say package has completed successfully, please check the load summary below. And now I will click here, and then I have to put those variable values, right? So I will say total records inserted, then put colon or something what you like, or equal to, and then here we need to use that variable. So we have to put double quotes, then plus sign, and then bring that variable. So we have insert count. If I will bring the insert count right here, it will throw me error if I will try to evaluate. Why? Because this part is a string and this is an integer, so we have to cast that. So let's see, it is a creating problem, right? Because you can't concatenate integer and string together. You have to make them or cast them or convert them to the string. So I'm going to use a dt st, or we can use the dtwstr and then say 10. So I'm converting to the string, and then I'm using it here. Looks good, right? And next part we need to do, we have to say plus sign, double quotes, enter, say total records updated, and now we have to use the same thing, double quotes, plus sign, and here we will be using dt. I'm going to copy this part, or I can write by myself, no big deal. We are just casting it, and here we will be using update counter variable. And now you can see that one really big part, you can't see the whole thing here. That's bizarre, and that's command right. Now we have this, and then we say plus sign and double quotes, say please contact TechBrothers in case of questions, and then we say thank you TechBrothers. So you write your email whatever you want to write. So that's how I will write my email, and this is how it will be looking. Fine. I am doing a lot of mistakes here because my keyboard is not working somehow. Okay, so this looks good. Hit OK. Now we are good to go. We can run our SSIS package. It is going to read the file and then send us email how many records are inserted and updated. So go ahead and run it. The package completed successfully, and if you see the stats here, how many records are inserted? 3 of them, and there is no record that is updated. So if we go back to the email and take a look on the email, I'm refreshing. So we got this email. It's saying check the summary for package, and then this is what it is showing us. Hey team, package has completed successfully, please check the load summary, and that's where we can see that 3 records are inserted and no records is updated, and that's great, right? Now let's go back and make some changes in the file. So we have record count for both of actions such as insert and update. So this is going to update, right? I'm going to go ahead and add a new row. I will say 6 and say test. So now there are some records, they should be updated, and one of them should be inserted. So stop your package, run the package again. I always check all the scenarios what are possible in my case. So you can see that 4 rows are red, 3 rows went to the update, and 1 row went to the insert. So now let's go back to the email and take a look. Now let's refresh, and we can see that. Let me go back here. what happened here. Let me move this message to the no spam and see if that works better, because all those messages are going to spam. Let me open them. Let's move them to the no spam, and now we have in the inbox and open them, and we take a look now. So here we see that, hi team, package has completed successfully. Please check the summary below. 1 record is inserted and 3 records are updated. You can also put the table name and whatever you want to put it here in the email. So right now I did not use any table name here. You can go ahead, and if you are using multiple tables in one package, you can always go to your send mail task and use the names of those tables. So that's how you would know that which table got inserted, or how many records are inserted into the table or updated in that table. Few more things I would like to tell. Let's say you have 20 tables and their counts are here. You have insert, update and all that. At the end you want to send a summary email, but want to send in a different way, maybe a HTML or in a tabular form. So I will recommend in those cases put those all the variable values in some table, and then you can go ahead and use the script task, and by using script task you can send HTML formatted email, or you can use execute SQL task and use SPDB send mail store procedure. That will work as well. So thanks very much for watching this video. This is very useful when you are working with a small number of tables, and 4 or 5 or whatever, you save the values in the variables and just build your summary and send it. So I will see you in the next video.